warm welcome to our next edition of KKM Talk, the Baro Buddy series that we are hosting. And today we have a special guest with us who's going to do a very important task of busting myths related to diet that is associated with obesity. And I think this is a very, very big topic, very important topic because of so much of social media noise. We really don't know what to believe, what not to believe. Everybody is a specialist online, and there are so many advices. So today, I think we are going to dedicate our episode, the next half an hour, busting all the myths that are associated with diet and obesity. And we have a very special guest with us, Mrs. Ujjwala Bakshi, and our topic for today is busting Baromyths. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ujjwala, for joining us
Thank you, Dr. Nitin, for having me. It's a pleasure to be on Baro Buddies, and I hope the information that we share enlightens your audience with the right tools and techniques to move forward towards their health journey.
Absolutely. So, just a very brief introduction of Mrs. Ujjwala Bakshi. I've personally known her for more than 15 years, but she's been into practice. She did a bachelor's in home science way back, more than 20 years ago from Mumbai University. She's done her internship from Nair Hospital in Mumbai. She's a certified diabetes educator from CMC Vellore. She has a diploma in sport nutrition, and her accolades have been amazing. And the best part is she has a huge experience which is spanning over 2 decades, not only in India but also overseas. She's the founder of her Post and Cure diet related institution, which is indeed doing a lot of work. Now, if I read her CV, it might take half an hour and our session will be over. So, in interest of time, I will cut it short. But nevertheless, thank you so much for joining us. And I would directly start with the questions that we have today. We already have a lot of people greeting you from all over India. We have our regular viewers as well. Dr. Ramji Agarwal, Mrs. Swati Jain from Vellore, she's greeting you. Ramji Agarwal is also wishing you. We have people from India and overseas who've joined to listen to you. And, with this very brief introduction, maybe I'll get started with the questions that, our audience are posting for diet and some of them that we have. So, Mrs. Ujjwala, the first thing that I would like to ask you, and I just relate to a patient who walked into my clinic today and said, Doctor, I usually do not eat my breakfast because I'm not hungry in the morning and I'm always getting late for work. And I eat my first meal of the day in the afternoon. But doctor, that's good because, I'm eating less. So does skipping meals help in weight loss?
So, skipping meals, if somebody has to, in view of intermittent fasting, or generally they do not have the time to actually eat a breakfast, it may work only if it is done under some healthcare professionals' guidance. Because what happens is that researchers have also proven that people tend to binge a lot in the later meals, the meals that are following after skipping the breakfast. So that means a brunch would follow, or a lunch, or a heavy evening snack. Especially, it has been observed also in my clients that if they were to start, when they start with us and they always mention that they've skipped their breakfast, we've observed that they dwell a lot on heavy calorie foods in the evening. So they are craving for sugary stuff as well as fried foods. It's a very common observation. So instead, I would advise that people should eat a good breakfast, which is loaded in proteins, fats, and fiber, even carbohydrates for that matter. Because if somebody has done a good workout in the morning and planning to skip breakfast in the view of again intermittent fasting, it really does not work because it causes further muscle breakdown and it disturbs the body's composition. So the person may be shedding off weight, but that is more to do with lean body mass loss. So it's not an effective weight loss in comparison to what we really want in the long run as the age increases.
Thank you so much for that. A clear message. If there has to be some kind of skipping of meal. It has to be under supervision of the healthcare professional. Not everybody should think that you skip your meals and you're going to have healthy weight loss. Thank you for that answer. There are greetings coming for you, Mrs. Ushla, from Soumya Sudra. She's saying hello and greetings. There are greetings from Haryana, from Bharati Hospital in Karnal, from Dr. Sanjay Kalra, and many more people who are wishing you. With this, we take our next question, and that's also something that is really common, and I would say fashion. There are these so-called detox diets which have somehow become in fashion, and you go to restaurants, there would be detox drinks and detox food, and it's just a high society kind of fashion thing. But what's the science behind it? Is it really helpful for weight loss?
So, see, the science behind it's more like a fashionable term, I would say, because honestly, there is nothing like a detox diet. Your body detoxes naturally. If somebody were to sleep on time, wake up on time, you are allowing your kidneys, your liver to function effectively, clear all the toxins from the body. And the detoxification process onsets at actually 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. in the night. So if somebody were to align their lifestyles accordingly, they are naturally detoxing. Now, why this jargon came up is it's just like a quick way to just get people interested. So even when we are following any kind of program, advising clients, we do use this term, but it is in line again. We are not promoting any kind of fat diets or excessive low calorie diets. So if somebody is selling products in the name of detox products, and they would say that only consume this and you will be all clean and clear and be dropping weight, that is something that is definitely a fad, and one should be saving themselves from this kind of terminologies.
Great, thank you. And a clear message again, nothing called detox diet. Again, think carefully before you invest on these very expensive foods, products, and drinks, and consult your healthcare professional before you buy them. Moving on to the next question, and this is also something which is, I think, very Indian. We've always been, told and taught that fruits are very good for us, which is indeed true. We have a lot of nutrients that come. During our religious fast, we are totally on a fruit diet. But many times patients mistake that as a healthy habit of having a lot of fruits. And especially the question that I'd like to ask you for our audience today is that how do you consider fruit juice when somebody is trying to lose weight?
So we need to understand that yes, fruits are gifted to us by nature, but again, everything in moderation has to be done. So if we are eating fruits or drinking fruit juices, so fruit juices are actually an abundance of fruits in a one tall glass. So a person may eat an apple or an orange, one or two max, if they have the appetite to really eat and chew upon. But in a juice, the fiber is all discarded and it is purely fruit sugar. So a glass of juice would be having about 3 to 4 oranges or even an apple. So whichever fruit the person is consuming, fruit juice. So now herein what's happening is there is a sugar spike. As soon as the person consumes a fruit juice, there is a sugar spike because there is no fiber at all. And that sugar spike is going to make the person feel very elated and happy and good, very energetic all of a sudden. And instantly the person is also going to feel a crash in energy right after 15-20 minutes of absorption of all the sugar, and the person may again feel a dip in his energy, and would want to crave for something which is another carbohydrate rich food or anything that is heavy on calories. So in a way, fruit juices are complete no with respect to any kind of health practices that we are wanting to incorporate into our daily lifestyles.
Right. So again, a very, very clear message. There are more people joining in who are listening to you. Dr. Kalra is thanking you for a very balanced discussion. We have Mr. Rajkumar and Ochani Raja who joined in and are sending their greetings. With this, we move on to our next question, and this is an answer that I also want to know. Essentially, looking at a lot of people follow this. Lemon water without sugar early in the morning as a ritual. Some people. So, what is this really got to do with weight loss? Is there science behind it?
So, lemon water does not directly cause any kind of weight loss, but yes, it does help in absorption of the vitamin C effectively in the body. And that kind of triggers a sensation of fullness. So, if somebody who has experienced a glass of warm lemon water in the morning, they will observe that their cravings go down, their sense of appetite goes down. And naturally, if they were to eat, say, for example, a plate full of poha, they would just want to eat about three-fourths plate full of poha. So minimally there is reduction in appetite and cravings. Also, if somebody is taking that action right away in the morning, they are somewhere aligned that yes, I am making this effort. So why not carry on such kind of efforts throughout the day? So they're just a little bit more conscious about their caloric intake. So that's what I've understood with all my practice. But actually, if we were to say that does lemon water directly cause weight loss, not really. It works on the psyche more than the calories burnt as well as the metabolism.
Absolutely. So yes, indirect benefits, not directly like a weight loss miracle. If you think so,
Yes,
if you're going to have lemon water and then the rest of your day would be burgers and pizzas, then it's not going to work. Right.
correct.
So moving on to the next question, and this is again something which has been more in the recent times, more in fashion, I would say. As training from an endocrinology point of view or from a nutrition point of view, you would agree that we prescribe gluten-free diets to patients with celiac
Mm,
disease. Now, in
mm,
South India, this is uncommon, but North India, this is fairly common, and we do see a lot of endocrine manifestations in these, people who are having problems with celiac. But gluten free has somehow again become a fashion, and you would hear people talking about saying, I'd like to go gluten free because it is less inflammatory, it causes some weight loss. So, does gluten free diet has got anything to do with weight loss or not?
not really. So if we look at one chapati, which is 30 grams, okay, and equivalent to that, we look at a ragi roti, which is also 30 grams. Both of them have similar calories. Yes, the ragi would have a little bit more of calcium in comparison to wheat roti. The wheat roti otherwise doesn't have any plus nutrition. Plus, we need to also consider there are many households which are using the traditional ways of sieving the flour. The wheat flour is sieved, so that means the fiber is again out, wherein the ragi flour is not sieved. It is actually bound with warm water, so that also is more hydrating on the digestive system. So in a way, the millet flours, not just ragi, millet flours, be it bajra, jawar, or any other millet, it calls for a lot of water to get bound and to be made, and hence the fullness is more in comparison to wheat roti. So somebody who says that okay, I cannot stop at one roti in comparison to a millet roti, that is the context. It's not about the calories; it is the same. The nutrition profile is generally the same in all the flours. It's just the amount of water that is used to absorb and make that roti makes a lot of difference.
Absolutely. So, great answer there. And again, there are a lot of questions coming in from our audience as well. There is, maybe I'll pick up one of them, which talks about fermentation. And they're asking, is fermentation beneficial? Now, we're talking about carbs, but then do you think fermentation has any role with respect to obesity and diet? And your thoughts on that?
Yes, a very good question. We need to understand that with the recent dietary trends, we have actually forgotten the process of fermentation. We have forgotten the kanjis. We have forgotten, the pakhala rice, which is a preparation of fermented rice in Assam. Okay, likewise in South India also there is a dish which is made out of fermented rice. So fermentation of food is extremely important because it keeps the good bacteria in place. And there have been researches which have proven that obesity is very directly related to the presence of bacteroids. That means bad bacteria. So people who have high levels or proportions of bad bacteria in comparison to the good bacteria, that is firmicutes. Firmicutes are a good bacteria. So if the firmicutes level goes low, the obesity increases. So hence, when we are administering any kind of weight loss programs in any of the clients, we always stress a lot on fermentation of foods. And if the person is not able to prepare, we really work on their probiotic content of their gut health. because that helps to tip down the weighing scale in a very, very collective manner. It's not just a one sided approach.
Right, and I would completely agree. And there's some amazing research which is happening with gut microbiota right now, and especially with the usage of these newer, highly effective anti-obesity medicines, which are not only causing fat loss but a little muscle loss as well. And this gut microbiota change is very, very important. And you never know, maybe next time we are prescribing one of these, fancy drugs, we might be also prescribing a tub of curd with that, because fermentation is something which is helpful. Nevertheless, I move on to my next question, and this is again very relevant, in current times when we are going on through festivals, and a lot of sweets are being cooked. Maybe I'll take two questions together. We have a lot of Indian sweets which can be fattening. So, would you really ask your patients to avoid these Indian sweets, and I'd also ask you to comment a little bit about these sugar-free products that are available. Are they really calorie-free? And we have sugar-free ice cream, sugar-free sweets, laddus, everything available. So, how do you tell your patients about sweets during a festive season like Diwali? And your top comment on the sugar-free products as well.
Okay, I'll first answer the Diwali sweets. So, whichever sweet item that the person is consuming, we have to understand a technique. And if we learn that, it's very easy to keep down or prevent any kind of overconsumption of sweets. So, the technique is three-step process, wherein three bite method it is called as, wherein the first bite actually allows your tongue, the tip of the tongue, to taste the sweetness. Okay, and naturally that signal is given to the brain that processing the second and the third bite, by the third bite the person is actually satiated. Now what happens is, the mistake that people do is we end up eating. So for example, there is a kaju katli, we would put the whole katli in the mouth, right, and then we chew upon. But when we were to bite it into three bites, chances are that hopping on to the second kaju katli would be very minimal, because we have used this technique. So generally, a satiety and the sugar craving or the sugar rush that we wanted is already met in the three bites of any Indian sweet or a foreign sweet like a cake or a dessert. So if we can abide to that, and that is the technique that I teach to my clients, plus we also, yeah. So, plus, we also tell the clients that you have to make sure that the maximum limit of your sugar intake in the entire day should not be beyond 5 to 10 grams. Okay. If somebody is really having a higher sweet tooth, we keep it up to 10 grams. That means 2 teaspoons. And then we evaluate the sweetness. So, if a sweet may be having about 7 grams of sweetness or a sugar, then we would advise them that okay, keep it to 2 sweets max per day. So with that accountability, the practice of keeping the sugar content low in their diets becomes easy. But having no sweet during Diwali is not a great advice, I think. And people should enjoy festivals. It's a one time thing in the entire year. And when the person knows himself or herself that yes, I am a disciplined person otherwise, then indulging once in a while is extremely essential to prevent any backfiring on yourself later, because then the chances of not limiting to one sweet and eating a box full of sweets are higher. So please do indulge in a small piece here and there. And moving on to the second question that you asked about the sweeteners. So yes, you can consume non-nutritive sweetener-based sweets or desserts, especially which are made with xylitol, with stevia and with the latest monk fruit. Okay, these are natural derivatives of sweetness. But now what happens is, many of the sweeteners, like recently there is a patient who sent me that yes, I am consuming stevia, and what happened to be in the composition was maltodextrin. Again, it is a calorie based sweetener. So I would suggest that when you are looking for sweeteners, go for very specific sweeteners, which is safe, sucralose, stevia, and monk fruit. Beyond that, the rest of them are have limits. Like even aspartame has a limit, and it still sells on the shelf. So please be careful of what you're consuming in the name of no calories or no sweet or diabetes friendly product.
Very clear answers, and thank you for allowing every one of us to have sweets during the festival season. So I'm sure you would have a lot more clients. All those who want to have sweets, please contact Mrs. Uchula, take an appointment and see her. She will tell you the right advice and not tell you don't eat sweets during Diwali. So thank you for those very scientific answers. I move on to the next question, and I think this is again something that we see a lot in the western part of India, Gujarat, India, in Gujarat, Maharashtra, a little less in south, but even in north and northeastern part where vegetarianism is really common. Now, many times people say that because I'm a vegetarian, I don't take red meat, I don't take a lot of fat, I should lose weight. So, does vegetarian diet automatically equate to weight loss?
So to give you an answer in context of somebody, for example, is a non-vegetarian and plans to become a vegetarian for whatever reasons, chances are that person may go up on weight because now the satiety content that he was getting through the non-vegetarian foods like fish and chicken would be missed, and for that he will need to eat a lot of protein, which is vegetarian protein like dals and pulses, but then they are also having carbohydrates. So vegetarian diets need to be definitely well planned and need to be consumed with great calculations. At the same time, they are very helpful on the gut. Okay, so what I would like to comment here precisely is vegetarian diets are a good way to manage one's gut health and weight management as well when done rightly. Otherwise, the chances of weight gain can be going higher if it is not well planned or calculated, because the carbohydrate content shoots up in a vegetarian diet very easily. So one needs to be watchful of how much protein they are consuming, especially, and how much carbohydrates are coming otherwise apart from the protein rich foods.
Absolutely. So it's your choice. You want to be vegetarian or non-vegetarian, but plan your diet so that you get the right amount of macronutrients in your diet. We did speak about lemon water before, but there's again questions from the audience about green tea and weight loss. So that's another ritual that I often hear in the obesity clinic here in Vellore, where people say that I get up in the morning, I have green tea, and that keeps me going the whole day. And does it really help in weight loss?
So the green tea has one kind of antioxidant polyphenol, which is EGCG, epigalactocatechin. Now it does help to control certain types of cravings. Okay, but again, it is only for a certain period of time. So if you've had a green tea right in the morning or sometime in the evening at a tea time 4 p.m., chances are at around that time you may not feel like indulging in a cookie or a heavy snack. But if as soon as the effect fades away, you may want to indulge. So it is a very individualistic choice. Plus, we need to also understand teas and coffees are naturally diuretics. So the person may be actually peeing more often. So there are people who consume liters of green teas throughout the day and they feel that it's weight loss. Actually, it is not weight loss, it is water loss because they are even urinating all the more. So again, consume everything, items like these in moderation. Overdoing, again, green tea can cause acidity, and it is not really good for people who are prone to acidity and even anemia. So yes, we need to be cautious about that as well.
And maybe taking in the same line, talking about black coffee, which is also the recent trend. A lot of people do take only black coffee, hopefully without sugar. So, how about that with weight loss? Similar to green tea, any different thoughts?
So again, black coffee does boost up one's mental alertness like green tea, and that's why people feel very good and high and stimulated. But at the same time, again, it's a diuretic. Plus, it comes with a lot of caffeine. Okay, so we need to understand, for people with anxiety issues, we cannot promote so much of coffee in them because it will just shoot up their anxiety episodes. Somebody with depression, anxiety, somebody with insomnia, these items excuse me, coffees and green teas can really backfire badly if somebody is dealing with insomnia, not able to sleep, and then they are trying to lose weight with the help of such kind of tips and tricks. It doesn't work, it is not healthy.
Great, great. And I am wary of time. We have 3 more minutes, but I think I will still take two questions that are coming up. One regarding use. I mean, talking of dairy and weight loss. Now, many people, stop drinking milk, stop having curd. So, what is that in terms of weight loss? Should dairy be continued in moderation? What is your thought?
So, honestly, in my opinion, being a plant based dietitian, I am not so in favor of dairy, especially because the only reason why, because we have to understand the sources from which the dairy is being coming through. So, if you're sourcing it through big brands out there, the masses, the demands are high, and that's the reason why the animals are injected with hormones, and those hormones then enter our systems and disturb our hormonal balance. Yeah, and that's the reason why we have observed, and in fact researchers have also proven that dairy consumption, excessive dairy consumption, especially in teen girls, have shown to cause PCOS, because again the quality is not very much assured. So if we are looking at the dairies, many people argue with me saying that, okay, if we were to get you milk from a tabela wherein the quality control is very much observed, yes, then you can consume it. Okay, wherein the animal is not tortured, the animal is not injected with hormones, and it's a very friendly environment, so then the milk quality is very good for your own health, and it can actually up level your game of nutrition, weight loss, and even protein intake.
Great. Thank you for those thoughts. And maybe the last question that I would avoid, I would ask you is essentially talking about rice. And again, now we hear a lot of people who would come and tell us, I've eliminated rice from my diet. So is that really necessary for weight loss?
Um, uh, I personally don't believe that rice needs to be eliminated from one's diet, because the quality of rice. So, if you go to see, all the vegan protein powders that are there in the market are all rice protein based. Why? Because the quality of rice protein is highly digestible. It's very good for the digestive system. So, for somebody who's having gut health issues, we need to advise them rice based diet. Now, where the rice problem comes into picture is the quantity. The people, if the person is not able to control the quantity of the rice and they tend to overdo it, then it's a problem. Again, the type of rice matters a lot, the short grain, long grain, the way it is cooked. Many people throw away the water of rice thinking that they're discarding the starch. But yes, rice water also has a lot of nutrition per se. So take a small portion of rice and work more on the other factors on the plate, that is the proteins, the vegetables, the salads, the probiotics coming from the dahi. So if we make it as a complete meal, then definitely rice serves the purpose of supporting one's health, gut health, mental health. And that's why South Indians, if we go to see, they are one of the intelligent lot of the country. It is because of the combination of the rice and dal, which is lysine and methionine, which is being missed. And nowadays, this is called as a hybrid protein. That's also a terminology which is come up, wherein the combination of rice and the combination of dal, which makes up for the losses of the essential nutrients, essential proteins, amino acids. Now, when they make it up together, it actually boosts mental health and cognitive health. So I don't think rice needs to be chucked off from the diet. It just needs to be used more smartly and consumed more smartly in order to aid one's weight loss.
Absolutely. So thank you again. And I think there are a lot of people thanking you. This was indeed one of our very well attended sessions that we've had in recent times. Ms. Swapna Jain has actually put a very good summary of whatever you've spoken in a very brief way. Thank you for that. And I think thank you so much, Mrs. Ujjwala Bakshi, for joining us today and clearing all these myths. I think a very clear message in one word, if I have to summarize what Madam has told, is don't say no to anything. Think of moderation. Use things smartly rather than going into extremes. And I think that's a very clear message. So even if you don't know anything, take the route of moderation, and you would invariably be right. And if you have a problem, you consult the healthcare professional, be it an dietitian, be it an endocrinologist, but then they will definitely guide you through as to what is the best way forward. But thank you so much. A lot of people are thanking you on the record, and Really, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to have you more often on our sessions here. It would be a great learning experience for all of us here. Thank you so much. And
Thank
can
you.
we have the certificate for Mrs. Ujula, please? Yes, and that's for
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you.
And we look forward to have you again soon. Thank you. Good
Thank you,
night.
Dr. Nitin, for having me. Thank you.
Most welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.